Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. You know, when I first started making videos here in the garage, it felt kind of weird at first, and after editing my videos and rewatching it again and again, and I realized I'm onto something that works specifically for me and this YouTube channel, because throughout the day, guys, I work and I usually get home around 5:30 and 6. And at that time, I'm usually mentally exhausted and drained, and so what I usually do is take a quick power nap, like a 30-minute power nap. Then when I wake up, I go work out, and then I take care of last minute items, and I usually come home, shower, and I make a video for you guys, and I call it a night. And so it's working for me, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Now let's move on to the video. So this video is focused on the first-time owners of a Subaru WRX, and this also includes people who have bought a used Subaru WRX, and this is also your first experience and you're like, okay, I finally got a Subaru WRX, what do I do? So guys, starting off this list, when you finally get yourself your Subaru WRX, whether it's brand new or used, the first thing you guys need to do is join a forum. Now, I highly recommend using Facebook. That's what I went through. Facebook is a lot more easier to use in my opinion, and you also get the face-to-face interaction. You get to see people's profiles. It's very, very easy. Because I have a 2018 Subaru WRX, what I did was when I got on Facebook, I looked up 2015 plus Subaru WRXs, and I also looked at 2018 Subaru WRX, and it shows a whole chain of tons of communities and groups that you could join in and introduce yourself and get to know your community, get to know the people around you, and ultimately ask questions. That's what that place is for, is a community where everyone gathers. And sometimes, yes, you may ask dumb questions, but it's better to learn from it than to make mistakes, especially in your car, right? The forums are an amazing place because you can just search on the toolbar and you could find tons and tons of questions that have been answered, and it might be one of the questions that you're considering or looking for. So if you're like, hey, look, I'm interested in buying a Cobb access port for my car, it's like $600 or so, and what are the benefits to it? What are the negatives? What are the drawbacks? And so you could go into the toolbar, those groups, those big groups, and you just look into it, and you'll have tons of threads, and you could just read through it, and you'll see exactly what happens, and you could see people's reactions, responses, and their stories to share with you, to give you a better insight onto what to expect. Because if you're looking into a specific mod, more than likely there's someone out there already who's already done it, and they'll give you their personal feedback on what they went through. So it definitely helps a lot, and it helps you along your way of not wasting money and wasting people's time asking questions again and again, right? It's really, really beneficial for you to join a forum like this, so that way you could connect with people who have a shared hobby with you and also be able to answer the questions for you. And again, a lot of people get a lot of hate for asking dumb questions, but for me, I personally do feel like as long as you ask it and someone responds, it's a learning experience. Maybe that's the same question that gets answered like tens and 20 million times a day, and once that happens, once you've gone through that experience already, you kind of know. And so once new members come in and they ask the same question, you could just direct them to the specific sources. So it definitely benefits you to join a forum. Moving on to number 2, guys, I highly recommend attending a local Subaru meet. Now, I'm not talking about the local weekly car meets where they do burnouts and stuff like that, and there's a high level of immaturity. No, I don't recommend that. I personally don't like those groups because it's always kind of crazy and always kind of wild, and oftentimes police gets called and the place gets shut down, so it's not fun. What I mean is, look for a local Subaru specialized group, right? So here in Sacramento, I came across a group called Sacktown Subaru, and I got to introduce myself to the creator and the host. His name is Alex. He's a really cool guy, and I actually know him from a different time in my life, but it's really cool. He drives a Forester, and it was this last Friday. I just kind of went out on a whim and decided to attend, and I got to meet a bunch of people. And what's cool about the Subaru community versus any of the other communities is how humble everyone is. Like, doesn't matter what generation vehicle you have, a Subaru is a Subaru, and if you own a WRX, the more the merrier. It's amazing, like when you when you're at the car meet and you see a bunch of blues, blacks, grays, silvers all lined up, everyone kind of congregates together, and people come up to you and they introduce themselves and like, hey, yo, like, nice ride, or like, damn, that's clean. And so you kind of conversate and you talk with people and you're like, hey, I'm new to the community, I just joined a bunch of forums, I just got my car, it's still bone stock, hey, I'm looking to do this, looking to do that, and you get to meet people, and you know, overall these guys become your friends. And I've made like 4 friends just that one Friday, and I definitely plan to go to the next Saxtown Subaru car meet, and their intervals are like every 2 weeks or so, but I highly encourage it. It's a really good experience. You know, if you have a Friday off or like a Thursday off, depending on, you know, the time frame of that group, of how they host it and where they host it, I highly recommend attending it at least just once so you could get that experience and get that connection going, because it goes a long way. Like, Subaru is a very interesting community, and that in a way everyone's very loving and very supportive of one another, and just by attending a local Subaru meet, you get to kind of, you know, network with everyone, you know, and so who knows, like I said, they might end up becoming your best friends, and you might be going on a weekend cruise in the mountains with them. So I highly definitely encourage you to attend a local Subaru meet. Moving on to number 3, guys, is look for a performance shop that specializes in Subaru locally. So I know that getting into a WRX, I mentioned in the previous video that it is extremely easy and tempting to mod your vehicle, and if you're going to mod your vehicle, I highly recommend modding it smart. And you know, unfortunately guys, everyone in the world thinks that they're right. They, even I included, me included, you know, I always think I'm right doing this, doing that, but opinions vary and opinions matter. And of course, if you're gonna mod your vehicle, I want you to mod it right. Okay, if you're gonna just say, hey, I'm gonna forego warranty and I want to make this car however I want it to be right, I highly recommend you connect with a Subaru specialist so that they can guide you and ensure that you're not tuning your car incorrectly and you're not going to destroy your internal workings of your car, right? So don't waste your money on buying parts for this, parts for that, and just kind of clumping it all together. Everything works like Legos in this game, right? You need to know the exact formula of what you're looking for. So connecting with a Subaru specialist, especially locally, you can give them a call, you can meet up with them in person and ask them tons and tons of questions and say, hey, look, will this work with that? Will that work with this? And what do I need to know about this and this and this? And it'll also help you gauge your budget, right? So that way you won't waste your money, you won't waste anyone's time, and you'll know exactly what you need to work hard towards. So I highly recommend doing that if you do plan to mod your car, because like I said before guys, a Subaru WRX is extremely easy to mod and it's extremely tempting. But for me, you know, every single day it's a battle. I'm always battling not to get myself an access port. Like guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've been looking at the access port again and again and again, and I'm like, okay, I can't do it. I'm an idiot if I do buy one. So yeah guys, I definitely encourage you guys to go and connect with a local Subaru performance shop specialized in that. Now, wrapping this video up, once you've joined a forum and you've attended at least one local Subaru meet and you've connected with a performance shop, the next best thing to do, the most fun part of this list, is to create your wish list, guys. This is the best part. You create a wish list or a mod list, and you go on SubiSpeed, you go on like Cobb, you go to any site that caters to our vehicle, and you just create an account and do a wish list and love everything that you possibly want to see in your car. This is also the funnest part too, is like you get to just like add everything, and at the end you look at your total bill and you're like, oh Jesus, I went a little too far. So I feel that the mod list here is one of the most enjoyable parts of this car, because you kind of just do a check mark of everything that you want to buy, right? But this is the best part. So after you connected with a performance shop, you'll know exactly what you're looking for, and this is the most enjoyable part, is that way you'll know an exact budget of how much you should save towards or put away, so that way you'll be able to get it, and you'll also be able to gauge at like labor fees and such like that. So this is the most enjoyable part. And guys, don't forget to create a maintenance record or list, because this car is a baby. You know, it works amazing when it works, but if anything were to go wrong, this car will throw a tantrum, and it's extremely extremely frustrating, especially when all the lights are flickering and you're like, what do I do? What do I do? You know, and should I call the dealership? Oh no, it's not under warranty. I messed it up. You know, like, calm down and just relax, and be careful at what you're doing when you're creating your mod list, right? Know exactly what you're going for. Connect with your Subaru specialist and make sure that you're upkeeping your maintenance, because maintenance is equally as important as modding your vehicle. Make sure that you maintenance it 2 or 3 times the rate. Check everything to make sure there's no spills, there's no leaks, and overall just have fun with your car, guys. That's what I really want for you guys to take out of this video, is to have fun and have a plan and enjoy this car, because this Subaru WRX, guys, is an amazing machine, and that's why I love talking about it. I love talking about it with you guys, and I hope that you guys in your ownership experience are having equally the same amount of fun as I do. So closing off my video is pretty much that, guys. Just have a game plan, and you know, make sure to ask lots of questions. Even if you feel intimidated that your questions are dumb, there are going to be trolls in the community, and there are going to be people who flame you for no apparent reason. But it's up to you and how you handle things. You know, in life there's already enough negativity in the world, and I'd rather be positive. You know, why take the easy route and reciprocate the negativity to them when you could just be positive? If someone talks bad about you and your build, you know, just accept it and say, hey, you know, I get it, that's your opinion. I get a lot of people giving me slack right now because I keep my car stocked. They're like, bro, you have a Subaru WRX, you're babying the crap out of it. Why? There's so much potential. You need to do this, you need to do that to that car. You know, I get it. You know, I know that this car has a potential to do so. However, this is my car. This is my hard-earned money that I used towards my vehicle, and I want to drive it the way I do. And for me, I want this car to last my whole lifetime. And so right now, I would like to use my warranty. You know, I'm being very smart about it financially because I don't have the money to play, guys. That's really it. If I had all the money in the world, I would make this car into a sleeper. Like, I love the sleeper concept, and I would love to have this WRX be a sleeper vehicle and just take off on people. However, I don't. I do love modding, guys. It's not that I'm against modding. It's about having a plan and executing it accordingly. I don't have a plan right now. I don't have the financial means to mod my car, so why would I? Why would I jeopardize that? And so I'm just gonna enjoy the car as is, and I do love the car as is, and I hope you guys love my car as much as I do. I hope you guys love your car equally, if not more than I do. That's just the ultimately the end, is I want you guys to be happy. I want you guys to take away something from my video. So yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm rambling a little bit. If you guys like this video, definitely please give this video a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And of course guys, don't forget to subscribe.